Welcome to the UK Country Songbook, a show for the Bridge Country hosted by me, Jonny Brick. This is the 5th programme in a 12-part series which assembles a 50-track songbook packed with the finest cuts from UK country acts, then discusses why they are so great. The songs may be personal or universal, anthemic or torch ballad, but all have a mark of quality that should see them sung and performed in 2050, 2070, and by the robot entertainers of the 22nd century. The discussions do not presume any musical knowledge, although I might raise musical concepts like counterpoint, chord shifts, and tonality. Who knows? You might be encouraged to write your own stuff and add to the existing songbook. It's the end of May and this episode goes out the weekend of Buckle and Boots 2024. It's a fine use of a bank holiday weekend celebrating country music in the UK at the home of the Hancock family, White Bottom Farm near Stockport, the village of Comstall. In fact, to that end, I've decided to pick songs by acts I associate with the festival, including this year's headliner Emilia, Quinn, house band Eddy Smith and the 507, and breakout star and festival mascot Alan Finlan. I'll start, as is only fair, with Gary Quinn. Here is one of his older tunes, He Don't Show Her Anymore.
Another missed call on the telephone. He recognizes that number as home, but he works on hoping his promotion's due. But she's the one doing overtime, lying awake, going out of her mind, and always last on his list of things to do. There was a time when she filled up the slots in his diary, but the little things he used to do are now a memory. Like when he'd ask about her day, bring her home a little gift, hold her in his arms till she lightly drifts off to sleep. Or maybe listen to her worries, share a bottle of wine, instead of overusing that three-worded line, and think she'll be alright. He might say he loves her, but he don't show her anymore. First-class flights and overnight stays, business meetings that go on for days. A busy schedule makes it hard to see that as his career is on the rise, she falls further from his eyes and feels her love's headed for redundancy. To save them from going under, he needs to act like he did before. And all she wants is for her man to invest that little bit more. Like maybe ask about her day, bring her home a little gift, hold her in his arms till she lightly drifts off to sleep. Or maybe listen to her worries, share a bottle of wine, instead of overusing that three-worded line, and think she'll be alright. He might say he loves her, but he don't show her anymore. But there's the deadline for their happiness approaches fast. He realizes now what he's got to do to make it last. Like maybe asking about her day, bring her home a little gift, hold her in his arms till she lightly drifts off to sleep. Or Or maybe listen to her words, share a bottle of wine, instead of overusing that three-way line, and think she'll be alright. He might say he loves her. Oh, he might say he loves her, but he don't show her anymore. He don't show her anymore.
He Don't Show Her Anymore by Gary Quinn, the benevolent mastermind who booked all the bands for Buckle and Boots. He has a Rolodex of contacts. In 2016, he brought over Phil Vassar, who wrote songs for Tim McGraw, like For a Little While in My Next 30 Years. Brilliant performer. Comes on and goes, hey, what do you want to hear? In 2017, Gary fulfilled a promise given to Nashville-based Morgan Evans and allowed him to make his UK debut on the Saturday evening of the festival. Since then, Brett Kissel, Shires and Everett have all played tremendous sets, as have the other three acts whose songs I'll be talking about in this episode of Songbook. Gary played 2 gigs at the 2017 festival, a Songwriters in the Round and a full band set. He played some fine tunes, including one about Derrieres, I Love to Watch You Leave, and Breaking Up, Shame. There was no place for the one we just heard, which is perhaps a bit too mellow for an up-tempo set. Songwriting sessions, it's always there. He Don't Show Her Anymore, Gary told me a few years ago, opened doors for him. I had listened to people about how to write songs, what angles they used. It's still the one that resonates with a lot of folk when I play it in front of new people. I never tire of playing it. Well, I never tire of hearing it. It sounds like a classic country ballad in the tenor of Garth Brooks or Alan Jackson, Remember When. That's in the same key as that song. He Don't Show Her Anymore opens with a soft strum of an acoustic guitar, which is soon joined by a full band arrangement. The lyric is about a lady and her husband. She calls him at work, but she's the one doing overtime, lying awake, always last on his list of things to do. As the man is drawn to work, the woman's love is headed for redundancy. Continuing the gentle metaphor, Gary sings that he should invest a little more in the relationship and to make it more than mere words. As the chorus puts it, no more does the man ask about her day, bring her home a little gift, or listen to her worries, share a bottle of wine. I love the scansion of that. Listen to her worries, share a bottle of wine. Trips off the tongue. Then comes the kicker. He might say he loves her, but he don't show her anymore. Every listener, likely but not exclusively male, who has been in a long relationship would empathise with the story. It's all fun and games at the beginning, but when one settles into a pattern, it's harder to show someone you care when you're working hard for the money. Unmentioned in the song, but clear from the subtext, is that a happy medium can exist. In the country way of putting one's life in a song, the he is the songwriter himself. Gary wrote it as a general universal sentiment, but in time he admitted that the office is a metaphor for his own drive for music. As a sort of Kevin Costner of country in the UK, Gary Quinn has built Buckle and Boots, and they, the country fan, has come. The 2024 iteration has pulled the most international bill yet from Italy, Australia and also the south of England. Headlining the Paddock stage on Saturday, 25th of May, having starred on the main stage in recent years, are Eddy Smith and the 507. Here's the ballad of Bobby Gray.
Began out of daylight, the trail had gone cold. A hand on her shoulder was no comfort at all. Nobody knows what happened that day, or what became of Bobby Gray. Down by the water, lies old Bobby Gray. Every year now, the same place, the same time, she goes to the pier where they said their goodbyes. Down by the harbor where the children play, she wrapped her arms round him and sailed away. Now some say they've seen her sail on the horizon, but I've only seen her when I close my eyes. Deep in my heart I think I've always known Bobby won't ever find her way back home. Down by the water, down by the sea, I hear her daughter calling to me. Somewhere in the darkness, oh, where she lay, down in the water, lies old Bobby Gray. Ooh, down by the water, down by the sea, I hear her daughter calling to me. Somewhere in the darkness, oh, where she lay, down in the water, down in the water, down in the water, down in the water, down in the water.
That's Eddy Smith and the 507. I asked Eddy, why the 507? And it was a simple explanation. It's the name of the practice room that they rehearsed in at Kingston University in southwest London, or Surrey, really, it's on the border, where they met. From that start, Eddy and his band are set to have their most prominent year yet. Regulars at festivals ranging from the Long Road to Croppedy. They headlined the Jazz Cafe in Camden in October, plugging their 2023 album Right Up Till Now, produced by Eddy. When we spoke just before the album came out, he said that he had to remix the first few of the tracks he'd produced because he'd improved so much by the time he'd mixed the final track of the album. Track 2 is a mysterious tale of a man named Bobby Gray, who is memorialised by his daughter, who loved him before he sailed away. Every year, Bobby's daughter goes to the pier where they said their goodbyes, although rather mysteriously, no one knows what happened that day. We do know he has died, and the ballad is a lament for him. In another arrangement, it could be an acoustic-driven folk song, but thanks to the massed harmonies, it's more gospel. The chorus, with its down by the water, down by the sea refrain, anchors the song, and the band harmonies prove that sometimes you need more than just a solo musician to get your point across. Eddy plays keyboard, and as you heard, there is an auxiliary organ player on stage and on record for extra oomph. All Eddy can offer Bobby Gray's daughter is a hand on the shoulder, which is no comfort at all. The music matches the mood of the lyric. The pathos is for the child, who has lost her dad. It reminds me a little of She's Leaving Home, written by Paul McCartney, about a child who leaves her parents, the man from a motor trade. Perhaps Eddy will write a sequel or prequel where he explains what could have happened to poor Bobby Gray. I doubt it. I think it's a mystery. This is the UK Country Songbook with me, Jonny Brick. You can watch the first 4 episodes in this series featuring songs from the likes of Robert Vincent, Ferris and Sylvester, Tennessee Quinn and Yola on the Bridge Country, as well as honky tonk cabin shows presented by John Finch, who produces this show. If you want some woman, head to the Voice of a Woman playlist on this very YouTube channel to watch the 3 episodes so far in Linda Conway's own monthly series. She and John Finch will both be at Buckle and Boots 2024. So if you're watching from there, come and say hello to either of us 3. Headlining the main stage on Friday night is one of the women Linda approved of, Emilia Quinn, and this is her song, Worse Than Whiskey.
To back after another pointless commotion. It's so hard to break through to your emotions. Leave a light on in case you wanna come. Won't you jump in and join me in the unknown? Your bittersweet kisses burning my throat, worse than whiskey. Like a faded old sweater, I'm calling you safe. But today you are threadbare and yelling for space. Your conditional kisses burning my worse than whiskey. The sun sets on another new face. Maybe this one will learn to love my embrace. Your double-edged kisses burning my whiskey.
So Linda Conway's there, John Finch is there, I'm there, and Danny DC Brown will be there too. He is an Emilia Quinn super fan. So for the UK Country Songbook, I thought I'd ask him which song he thinks is head and shoulders above the rest of Emilia's catalogue. He narrowed it down to two. One of You, which is a slow burner with a vocal from the heart that kicks in about 2 minutes in, and the one I have picked, Worse Than Whiskey, which starts and continues with a full band arrangement. Oddly, neither of those songs appears on Emilia's 2023 album Wanderlust and Breaking Rules, which she announced at Buckle and Boots 2023. Worse Than Whiskey first appeared on an EP called Medicate, which came out in 2021. The song opens with 4 bars of drums in waltz 2/3 time, before pedal steel and guitar join in. We don't hear Emilia's voice until 35 seconds in, which complains of a pointless commotion after an argument has driven her beloved away. There's a lot of space to think in the song, and indeed in verse 2, Emilia's beloved is yelling for space. Emilia compares her partner to a faded old sweater, threadbare, which is a great image, and builds the refrain as first bittersweet, then conditional, and finally double-edged kisses burn in my throat, worse than whiskey. Good writing. There's also some mystery in the line, jump in and join me through the unknown. Is it happiness that is unknown, or future in general? Perhaps this is why the pair had the commotion in the first place. Emilia was begging her partner to commit to a future, but it only turned her away and had her saying that she wanted space, because Emilia is lesbian. In lieu of a middle 8, there is a weeping guitar solo before a final verse comes as a hopeful sigh. Maybe this one will learn to love my embrace. So much of the song's meaning is communicated through the vocals and the tone, particularly when Emilia hangs on to worse than at the final mention of the song's title. After impressing at Buckle and Boots 2023 and going out to tour the album in the autumn and then playing Country to Country 2024, she was excellent both solo and with the full band. More and more people are being converted to the cause of Emilia Quinn. Happily, she married her wife Tammy, so it stands as a character song today. And if you want to watch Emilia Quinn perform, DC Brown's YouTube channel has dozens upon dozens of videos. Finally, it's a man who, before his own Buckle and Boots debut, did a tour of tents, warming the crowd up for his material, including This Drink Is Like Having You Home, which is the songbook entry for Alan Finland.
There's a watch that I have face down by a glass. Time goes if it's full or it's clear. It wasn't part of my plan, starting over again. I'll resist, but you brought me here. There's no closing time when you're here alone. If it's the wine, the whiskey, or rum, with the highs that I get, all the lonely regrets, this drink is like having you home. There's a time when I rise, before I open my eyes, and my thoughts, well, they haunt me like ghosts. There's drinks that don't mix, and there's those that play tricks, and it hurts the one you love the most. There's no closing time when you're here alone. If it's the wine, the whiskey, or rum, with the highs that I get, all the lonely regrets, this drink is like having you home. road, trying to make the next stop on the plan. When I finally get home, it's the night that goes slow, and so I take the damn watch off my hand. There's no closing time when you're here alone. If it's the wine, the whiskey, or rum, with the highs that I get, all the lonely regrets, this drink is like having you home. No, I'm not the man like Jack with Diane, so this drink is like having you home.
This drink, open brackets, is like having you home, close brackets, by Alan Finland. Based in a town near Portsmouth, Alan has become a fixture on the UK circuit as a whole with his big-hearted music. At the top of the show, I called him a mascot of Buckle and Boots. He's not playing this year, but I hope he returns in 2025 with new music and the ability to drive. Never mind big man, small town, big man, small car. Alan told me that this drink is his favourite composition. He says, from the arrangement to how the theme of loneliness spoke to me greatly as during COVID. It's a triple-time chugger sung from the back of the throat in the character of a trucker. You have the narrator on the road in the third verse. Alan sings how he has lost a woman who drove him to drink. He is full of lonely regrets. And that's a transferred epithet, because regrets can't be anything. A man is lonely, a man has loneliness and puts his loneliness onto the regrets. I remember doing classical poetry and learning about transferred epithet. It has come in useful for this songbook. A resonant solo, meanwhile, cuts through the heartache, after which Alan picks up the opening image of a watch, which he throws away physically and metaphorically. There's no closing time when you're here alone, he sings on the chorus, wine, whiskey, or rum. The boldness, the chutzpah of rhyming alone and rum. I don't think even if you say it in a Portsmouth accent, they are a full rhyme. It's a very weak rhyme that I guess matches his weak state of mind. There's drinks that don't mix, and there's those that play tricks is a very full rhyme. It's assonant and memorable and will resonate with plenty of listeners. The relationship between country music and alcohol will seemingly never run its course. Thank you for watching this 5th show in the UK Country Songbook series. I've been Jonny Brick, and I will return at the end of June with more standards that deserve to be added. But for now, it remains for me to thank John Finch for producing this show for the Bridge Country, giving independent artists a voice across the world.